Hello and welcome to another edition of Camera Nostalgia, where we take a quick look at various old vintage cameras and review them and just have a chat, and especially ones that are usable today that you could still use and expect to get results from. So today in front of us we have what looks like a late 1930s Balda Jubilette, but in fact it's from the late 40s and it's a Beltica. And the story is that after the Second World War, the Balda firm split, and some went to the west, and the rest remained in the original Balda factory in the east, and they started producing these Baldas, which were a slightly updated version of the pre-war offering. And similar to Zeiss, there was a challenge to the name, a legal challenge, and eventually it was won by the West, and Baldas made in the East, even though they were made in the original Balda factory, with the original Balda tooling and a lot of the original Balda personnel, they had to call them Belticas. So there we have it, and this is a late 1940s Beltica. But you can see it's very much a 1930s Balda design. A lot of the features are still there, like this nice depth of field scale on the back, and also, if we turn it round to the other side, this lovely viewfinder that's on a wheel that actually tilts the viewfinder to correct the parallax error. So you focus on your image with your front cell at the front, and then read off the distance onto your scale there, and your parallax error is no more. So that was a really good design on the original 1930s ones that they've kept. So yeah, basically a 30s camera. The difference with the post-war ones built in the East, the obvious one is the shutter. So we now have a Cluedo shutter, which I believe was their own factory-produced shutter. It's a nice shutter. I mean, this is about 1948. Sweet as a nut. So yeah, it's not a bad shutter. The other difference, the lens on this particular model is the Ludwig Meritar, which is a cheaper entry-level lens, if you like, one of the cheaper alternatives, but still not a bad lens. You're right, you might struggle wide open, but if you're at f8, f11, then it's fine. It's as good as any other of the competition at the time. So it's not a real setback. It's not a bad lens. It's not a bad shutter. It's well produced. So it's still a good photographic piece of kit. and I rather like this. I like it. I like the satin chrome finish on the struts. The old pre-war ones were a highly polished chrome. These were like a satin finish. It's proved durable. They look very smart. Yeah, it's a nice camera. There's not really anything negative to say that they're producing these, in my opinion. If we look at the back, it's well made, it's well finished inside, and look at this. I like to see this. It's wear of the film pressure plate, where the film has taken the shine off it. So this has had some films through it in its time. So whilst we all like a nice mint camera, there are some disadvantages, because why is the camera so mint? It could be that somebody's really looked after it, or it could be that it didn't actually work very well and they got fed up of using it and put it in a drawer. So I quite like to see like a slight bit of wear there on the film pressure plate, and the chrome worn off the back where they've opened it, and the shutter release, and paint just off the edge here, because it proves that it's been used. And if it's been used a lot, then it works, and the previous owners have got good results from it. So I tend to look at it a little bit different, and whereas I don't want a tatty camera, a camera that's been looked after but you can see signs of wear, I think is better than a mint example. So yeah, a nice piece of kit. I suppose in the day they were up against the Kodak Retinas. Today they're probably a good alternative, and they're a lot cheaper than a Retina. You're going to churn out results of a similar quality. Maybe you just haven't got that kudos and the following that the Retina has, but these weren't far behind a Retina. So if you're in the market today looking for a good folding 35mm camera, which are really useful, you can just pop them in your pocket and take them anywhere and get good results. So if you are looking for that sort of camera, then the Beltica, or indeed the Balda, they are good alternatives to the probably more hyped, more expensive Retinas. So don't let that put you off, because they're still a good camera and capable of good results today. Right, well, I hope you enjoyed our little quick video, and we might be seeing a few more Baldas and that type of thing in the next few videos, because if you remember one of the previous videos where we had the unknown camera, which is looking like it is a Balda, I've been doing a lot of digging and research and looking at Balda cameras, so expect a few more videos on Baldas in the near future, as I try and get to grips with them and see what's what. The models, there's so many differences, so many different names for virtually the same camera, so many funny little bits that are different, but yeah, there we go. So this is it. This is the Beltica, a 30s Balda produced in the 40s in the East, and it's a cracker. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.